Hello and welcome to the CAHSEE Test Site Coordinator training. I will give an overview of the Test Site Coordinator's responsibilities so that you can ensure consistent and accurate administrations of the CAHSEE. Specifically, I will cover test security, which includes maintaining the security of materials and test site security audits. Before testing, which includes training test examiners, receiving materials, conducting an inventory of the test materials, and preparing the test materials for classrooms. During testing, which includes monitoring testing, problem solving, and checking materials in and out to examiners. And after testing, which includes collecting all testing materials and returning the test materials to the local educational agency, or LEA, CAHSEE coordinator. Keeping CAHSEE test materials secure is one of the most important responsibilities of test site coordinators. You must read, agree to, sign, and return the CAHSEE Test Security Agreement to the CAHSEE coordinator, who will keep the document on file for at least 1 year. In turn, you must ensure that all test examiners and proctors read, agree to, sign, and return a signed CAHSEE Test Security Affidavit to you before they receive any test booklets. In addition, you are required to keep all test materials securely locked when they're not being used and maintain processes and procedures to prevent cheating and preserve the validity of the test. Students should not have books, papers, or electronic devices, especially cell phones, on their desks before or during testing. It is important to inform students before and during testing that if they are found cheating or to have compromised the security of the examination, their test results may be invalidated. Compromising the security of this examination includes the use of cell phones, electronic pagers, music players, and all other electronic devices during the test administration. If any of these devices are used, for example, to take pictures of CAHSEE test materials to post on social media websites, then test results may be invalidated and not scored. Before each CAHSEE administration, your key activities include scheduling and informing parents and appropriate students of testing dates and times, training examiners and others, proctors or scribes, receiving and conducting an inventory of test materials, and preparing test materials for the testing rooms. Build the testing times into your school days on administration dates. Tests start between 8 and 10 a.m. Testing should begin by 10 a.m. each day. Each section of the CAHSEE must be given on the day for which it is scheduled and should follow the suggested timelines. On Tuesday, the first session of the English Language Arts ELA test needs about 2.5 hours and the second session about 2 hours. On Wednesday, each math test session will require about 2 hours. Remember to have a location and examiner for students who need more time and for students with test variations. Plan which rooms will be used for testing and how to handle students not testing or students who finish testing early. Also, plan for English learner variations such as translated directions, additional breaks, testing separately, and translated word lists. If students have an IEP or Section 504 plan, they may need accommodations or modifications. Accommodations vary how the student is tested but do not change what the test measures. Examples of accommodations include testing over more than 1 day, using a large print or braille test booklet, or using manually coded English or American Sign Language to present mathematic test questions. Remember to notify the LEA CAHSEE coordinator if a student needs to test over more than 1 day, as indicated in his or her IEP or Section 504 plan. The CAHSEE coordinator will then notify CDE prior to the test dates of the need to test over multiple days. Modifications alter what is measured and affect scores. Examples of modifications are the use of a calculator on the mathematics test, the use of an audio presentation on the ELA test, and the use of a dictionary on any CAHSEE question. Using the CAHSEE Test Examiner portion of this video, conduct workshops for all the test examiners, proctors, and scribes to ensure consistent and accurate handling of the materials. A proctor is needed for every 25 students being tested. Inform examiners and others of their responsibilities with an emphasis on security. You must include the following topics: where to pick up and return test materials each day, the importance of giving the correct tests and answer documents to the correct students, the need to read each of the say boxes exactly as they are written, and how to handle students not testing. To prepare, advise examiners to read the DFA prior to testing, but not the test booklets. For the actual administration, notify examiners to have the correct room configuration and to give the correct materials to students. Verify that the students are using only number 2 pencils on multiple choice questions and the writing task, and that students are not using scratch paper or correction fluid. All students may use their test booklets and blank pages in the answer document for scratch work. Examiners must read the DFA instructions exactly as they're written. Also, during administration, examiners should actively monitor testing to prevent cheating and incidents. If incidents occur, they must be reported to you, the test site coordinator. Upon receipt of test materials from your LEA CAHSEE coordinator, immediately open the boxes and inventory all test materials. Make sure that you've received all the materials listed on the packing list, including a 5% overage. If not, contact your LEA CAHSEE coordinator right away. Count and record the number of boxes and the security barcodes on the shrink-wrap booklets. Keep the booklets shrink-wrapped until testing day. Use the test site packing list and security tracking form for verifying the correct barcodes on the shrink-wrap tests and that you received each item. Reseal the boxes and sign the packing tape to tamper-proof them. Store them securely until the day of testing. On testing days, prepare for each examiner lists of students to be tested and any testing variations students may require. If you receive pre-identified answer documents for students no longer in your school, write void on them and keep them in a secure location until they're returned to the LEA CAHSEE coordinator with your non-scorable materials. Although the ELA test is in a separate booklet from the mathematics test, students should use a single answer document within a given administration. Use the inventory form test site to document the test materials being distributed to test examiners. Finally, train examiners to return all answer documents with completed SGIDs separate from the test booklets and other non-scorable materials. Check that no answer documents are inside of the test booklets. See the LEA and the Test Site Coordinator Manual for other responsibilities that you should cover in training. If applicable,